Imagine a time over 3.5 billion years ago, when our planet was a very different place. A swirling mass of gases, a violent atmosphere, and the relentless pounding of meteors painted the backdrop of the early Earth. What if I told you that this chaotic environment was also the cradle of life? In this chapter, we will explore how life emerged from lifelessness and the compelling theories that attempt to explain this monumental transition. The prevailing theory, called abiogenesis, suggests that simple organic compounds spontaneously formed complex molecules, ultimately leading to the first simple cells. This scientific acceptance of spontaneous life generation is mind-boggling. From small beginnings, life evolved into a myriad of forms, but how did a single-celled organism develop into the vast tapestry of life we see today? The Miller-Urey experiment of 1953 provides a glimpse into this mystery. By simulating the conditions of early Earth, Stanley Miller and Harold Urey produced amino acids from inorganic materials, suggesting that life's building blocks could form naturally. Yet, many questions remain unanswered. What were the exact conditions that led to life? How did these simple cells evolve? And what role did extremophiles, organisms that thrive in extreme conditions, play in understanding our origins? These questions are still the subject of scientific inquiry today. The branch of science known as astrobiology has emerged as a response to these questions, investigating the possibility of life beyond Earth. Recent discoveries of extremophiles thriving in environments like deep-sea vents and acidic lakes suggest that life can exist in conditions once thought impossible. Imagine what we might uncover on other planets, perhaps even the building blocks of life existing in the icy crust of Europa or beneath the clouds of Venus. Despite all these advances, the exact moment life sparked from non-life remains an enigma. As we ponder the origins of life, we must also consider what it means for our own existence and the universe around us. Could we be alone in this vast cosmos, or are there others out there waiting to be discovered? As we transition to our next chapter, keep that thought in mind. Perhaps the answers are hidden in the myriad of ecosystems that have evolved since those primordial days, leading us to an even greater mystery. A little over 540 million years ago, the Earth experienced a radical transformation known as the Cambrian Explosion, a period characterized by a spectacular diversification of life. Imagine a world where life was primarily composed of simple, single-celled organisms, suddenly bursting forth into a dazzling array of complex multicellular life forms within a geological blink of an eye. But what triggered this remarkable leap in evolution? During the Cambrian, we witnessed the first appearance of almost all major animal phyla. Creatures like trilobites, anomalocaridids, and early vertebrates emerged, leading to drastic changes in marine ecosystems. But what caused this explosion? One theory suggests that an increase in oxygen levels allowed for more complex organisms to thrive. As the atmosphere filled with oxygen, so too did the oceans, paving the way for new forms of life. Another intriguing aspect relates to the development of predation. With the appearance of predators, creatures had to adapt rapidly to survive. This arms race between prey and predator likely catalyzed rapid evolutionary changes, spawning astonishing adaptations like shells and exoskeletons. Could this relationship between predator and prey be the driving force behind biodiversity itself? The Burgess Shale in Canada offers a rich window into this era, housing fossils that reveal an unprecedented variety of soft-bodied creatures. These fossils indicate that the Cambrian explosion wasn't merely a spike in numbers, but a crucial development in the complexity and interactivity of life forms. Researchers have spent decades unearthing and interpreting this treasure trove of evolutionary history. But still, questions linger. Why did it happen so quickly? Why did certain forms dominate while others vanished? Modern evolutionary biology endeavors to uncover these mysteries through genetic studies and comparative genomics. The implications of understanding the Cambrian explosion stretch far beyond mere curiosity. They may hold the key to understanding patterns of survival and extinction. Have we truly answered the question of why life exploded in complexity during this period, or do we just have a fraction of the picture? Join us as we delve deeper into the intricacies of evolution and explore what these ancient events mean for life today. Our journey now brings us to perhaps the most fascinating story of all, our own. The saga of human evolution is fraught with twists, turns, and uncertainties. How did we evolve from primitive ancestors into the complex beings that we are today? With fossil evidence and genetic studies, we can begin to piece together our lineage, but the full story remains elusive. The story begins millions of years ago in Africa, where our earliest ancestors roamed the savannas. From Australopithecus afarensis, famously known as Lucy, to Homo habilis and Homo erectus, our family tree branches out into an array of species. Each had unique adaptations, yet only Homo sapiens survived. What caused this survival of the fittest, and what does it tell us about modern human behavior? A pivotal moment in human evolution was the transition to bipedalism. This adaptation not only freed our hands for tool use but also changed our social structures and interactions. Some scientists propose that bipedalism allowed early humans to travel greater distances, thus expanding their range and access to resources. But as we adapt, we also encounter new challenges. One such challenge was climate change, pushing our ancestors into new environments that required even further adaptation. As Homo sapiens emerged as the dominant species, we also began to see the development of complex language, culture, and society. But did other hominin species, like Neanderthals, play a role in shaping our evolution? Genetic studies reveal that many of us carry traces of Neanderthal DNA, implying interactions that may have included interbreeding. The mystery deepens with the puzzling extinction of Neanderthals. What caused their disappearance? Some argue it was climate change, others point to competition with modern humans. This debate remains lively and unresolved. As we examine our past, we can't help but wonder, are we still evolving, and if so, what will our future hold? The answers may offer insights into human behavior today and shed light on the challenges that lie ahead. Let's journey further to explore the implications of evolution on our future. The natural world is a stage upon which the drama of evolution unfolds. What we often perceive as mere survival is, in fact, a continuous ballet of adaptation and resilience. Consider the fascinating examples of how species have adapted to extreme conditions, exemplifying the beauty and complexity of evolution. Take the Arctic fox, for instance. Adapted to the frigid tundra, these small mammals possess remarkable adaptations, from their white winter coats that blend seamlessly into the snow to their thick fur-lined paws that provide insulation against the cold. The Arctic fox thrives in an environment where few others can survive. Similarly, the camel, often referred to as the ship of the desert, has evolved to withstand extreme heat without water for days. These adaptations are not merely physical but also behavioral. For example, migratory birds undertake remarkable journeys seasonally, demonstrating incredible navigational skills evolved over countless generations. The red knot, a small shorebird, travels over 9,000 miles annually from its breeding grounds in the Arctic to wintering areas in South America, showcasing the extraordinary lengths animals go to for survival. But evolution isn't solely about thriving in isolation, it's also about interactions. The relationships between species can dictate survival. Consider the mutualism seen in the relationship between bees and flowers. Bees pollinate flowers while seeking nectar, perpetuating the life cycle of both species. This intricate web highlights how interconnected life is, where one species' survival can hinge on another's adaptation. However, adaptation isn't a guaranteed path to survival. The case of the passenger pigeon serves as a cautionary tale. Once numbering in billions across North America, the rapid decline due to hunting and habitat destruction resulted in its extinction by the early 20th century. Here we see the interaction of human impact and natural evolution, a poignant reminder of our role in the broader ecosystem. As we dive deeper into how life forms adapt and evolve, we face a looming question. In a world so rapidly changing due to climate change and habitat loss, what does the future hold for adaptability and survival? The stories around us might just offer a glimpse into the path ahead. In the quest to understand evolution, we must turn our gaze inward, to our very own genetic code. DNA carries the blueprint of life, and its study has revolutionized our comprehension of evolutionary processes. How does this microscopic molecule hold the secrets of our past? The field of genetics, particularly the understanding of mutations, serves as a key to deciphering evolution. Every living organism carries mutations, some of which provide advantages for survival, while others may be detrimental. These mutations can occur spontaneously or be induced by external factors, and over generations, they may lead to significant evolutionary changes. To illustrate, consider the peppered moth. During the Industrial Revolution, dark-colored moths became more common due to pollution darkening trees, which offered them better camouflage from predators. This is a classic example of natural selection, the process by which certain traits become more common in a population due to the advantages they confer in a given environment. Modern genetics has even allowed us to trace ancestry back thousands of years. The groundbreaking work surrounding mitochondrial DNA, mtDNA, and Y chromosome studies illuminate how humans have migrated and evolved across the globe. For instance, studies tracing mtDNA have revealed that all living humans share a common maternal ancestor, dubbed mitochondrial Eve, who lived roughly 200,000 years ago in Africa. However, as we decode our genetic past, we are confronted with ethical considerations as well. Genomic studies can provide insights into ancestry and evolutionary history, but they also pose questions about identity, privacy, and what it means to be human. In this genetic age, we must ask ourselves, who are we becoming as we decipher and manipulate our own codes? As we move forward, the next chapter will explore the implications of these advancements and give us a glimpse into the evolution of life as we know it. As the dinosaurs roamed Earth, they were the undisputed rulers of the planet for over 160 million years. They were massive, fierce, and dominated almost every ecosystem. But little did they know that the seeds of their own demise were being sown during the Cretaceous period, a time marked by dramatic climatic changes and eventually, catastrophe. Around 66 million years ago, a colossal asteroid struck the Yucatan Peninsula, creating the Chicxulub crater. This impact is believed to have unleashed a series of environmental cataclysms, wildfires, tsunamis, and a dramatic drop in temperatures. The aftermath was catastrophic, leading to the extinction of approximately 75% of Earth's species, including the mighty dinosaurs. While the dinosaurs faced their doom, tiny mammals, no larger than modern-day mice, were emerging from the shadows. These creatures, often nocturnal and insectivorous, adapted to the new ecological niches left vacant by the fallen giants. Over millions of years, these early mammals diversified. Evolution favors those who can adapt, and these small creatures began to fill the gaps in the ecosystems. As the climate warmed and vegetation flourished, mammals underwent a remarkable transformation. Fast forward to the Paleogene period, just after the mass extinction. This era marked the beginning of mammalian dominance. Species such as the early primates, ancestors of today's monkeys and apes, began to appear. At the same time, the first large mammals like the ancestors of elephants and horses emerged. The evolutionary tree of mammals blossomed, showcasing a diverse range of forms and sizes, from tiny shrews to enormous mammoths. One of the most fascinating stories is that of the whale. Today's whales are descendants of land-dwelling mammals that ventured back into the ocean around 50 million years ago. Their evolutionary journey from four-legged land mammals to the majestic giants of the sea is a testament to nature's adaptability. The fossils we have, such as those of the ancient whale Ambulocetus, paint a vivid picture of this transition. These creatures possessed both land and marine adaptations. They could walk on land but also swim effectively. Over time, adaptations like streamlined bodies and echolocation helped them become the top predators of the ocean. But the evolutionary saga of mammals isn't simply about survival, it's also about intelligence and social structures. Take primates, for example. Their development of complex social systems, tool use, and even communication sets them apart. The evolution of Homo habilis, or the handyman, marked a significant turning point. They were the first known hominids to use tools, shaping their environment in ways previous species could not. As mammals became increasingly adapted to their environments, they diversified even further. The rise of grasslands saw the evolution of herbivores, from agile antelopes to the colossal woolly mammoths. It's astonishing to think about how evolutionary forces sculpted these creatures to not only survive but thrive in their habitats. The competition for resources also led to the emergence of predators, such as saber-toothed cats that hunted large herbivores and established themselves as apex predators in their ecosystems. In summary, after the dinosaurs, it was the mammals that seized the opportunity to adapt and fill the gaps left behind. The story of mammals is not only about survival, it's about innovation, complexity, and the profound ways life evolves to respond to a shifting planet. But what led to the incredible diversity we see today, and are we at the top of our evolutionary game? Join us in the next chapter as we venture into evolution in the Anthropocene, the human impact. As we transition into the Anthropocene era, the impact of human activity on the planet is unprecedented. Since the Industrial Revolution, our species has altered the landscape, climate, and ecosystems at a scale never seen before. But with this power comes a responsibility, as our actions are not only affecting our future but the evolutionary paths of countless other species. As we peer into the future, the narrative of evolution becomes increasingly complex and interwoven with human choices. The question arises, what does the future hold for life on Earth? Will it be shaped solely by natural forces, or will humans play a central role in directing the course of evolution? The next century may witness unprecedented changes. Scientists predict that as climate change accelerates, many species will either adapt, migrate, or face extinction. Temperatures rising, habitats becoming inhospitable, and oceans acidifying, how will life respond? Some species may thrive in these new conditions, while others will struggle to survive. For example, a recent study highlighted that certain species of fish are adapting to warmer waters by altering breeding seasons and metabolic rates. Others, like the golden toad of Costa Rica, have sadly disappeared. But humans are not merely passive observers in this process. Technological advancements are blurring the lines of traditional evolutionary pathways. Synthetic biology, gene editing, and conservation efforts are evolving at an astonishing pace. Will we see engineered species designed to tackle climate challenges, or crops that can withstand harsh environments? The potential is immense, yet it carries significant ethical implications. Conservationists are advocating for assisted evolution, a strategy where we help species adapt to changing environments by selective breeding or even genetic manipulation. This method has sparked debate. On one side, proponents argue it could save endangered species, like the black-footed ferret. On the other hand, opponents warn it risks altering natural ecosystems irreversibly. As we navigate these challenges, the very fabric of evolution may shift. Humans may not just be subjects of evolution but also active participants shaping the future of biodiversity. With every decision, industrial, agricultural, and environmental, we influence which traits are favored, which species flourish, and which fade away. What about our own evolution? We live in a world heavily shaped by technology. Will our reliance on machines affect our biological evolution? Some researchers suggest that as we integrate more technology into our lives, we might undergo changes in cognitive functions or even physical adaptations in response to our new environments. As we move further into a world of artificial intelligence and biotechnology, how will that influence the evolutionary pressures we face? Moreover, the concept of cultural evolution is gaining traction. While biological evolution occurs over millennia, cultural evolution can happen in just a few generations. The speed at which we share information and ideas can drive societal changes that influence human behavior and interactions. This intertwining of biology and culture adds another layer to our understanding of evolution. In contemplating our future, we must consider the ecological impact of our choices. Protecting biodiversity is crucial not only for the planet's health but also for our survival. Each species plays a role in the intricate web of life, influencing everything from climate to agriculture. As we forge ahead, the balance between human progress and conservation will determine the trajectory of evolution itself. In the final chapter, we will reflect on the lessons learned from evolution's mysteries and consider how we can shape a sustainable future for all life on Earth. The tapestry of life on Earth is woven with stories of resilience, adaptation, and survival. As we reflect on the long journey of evolution, it becomes clear that there are valuable lessons to learn about our place in the natural world. Understanding these lessons can guide us in shaping a more sustainable and harmonious future. One of the first lessons from evolution is the importance of diversity. Biodiversity ensures ecosystem stability and resilience. Studies show that diverse ecosystems are more productive and can better withstand stressors like climate change. For example, a study published in the journal Nature found that grassland ecosystems with higher species diversity were more resistant to drought. This lesson is crucial for us as we face the global challenges of habitat loss and climate change. The second lesson revolves around interconnectedness. Every organism plays a role within its ecosystem, contributing to a balance that sustains life. The extinction of a single species can have ripple effects throughout an ecosystem. For instance, the decline of bee populations can jeopardize food sources for countless animals, including ourselves. This highlights the need for conservation efforts that acknowledge the interdependent web of life. Adaptability is another key lesson. Life is characterized by its ability to evolve in response to changing conditions. The story of the peppered moth illustrates this beautifully. During the Industrial Revolution in England, soot from factories darkened tree trunks, leading to a shift in the moth's coloration. The darker-colored moths became more common as they blended into their environment, showing us that adaptability is crucial for survival. As we move into the age of human impact, we must also learn humility. Our advancements in technology and society have given us unprecedented power over the planet. Yet, with this power comes a responsibility to be stewards of the Earth. Acknowledging our role in the larger tapestry of life can foster a sense of stewardship and connect us to the natural world. Initiatives such as rewilding, which aims to restore ecosystems to their natural state, underscore this responsibility. Furthermore, the concept of evolution teaches us about the value of long-term thinking. Evolution is a slow process, taking place over millions of years. Our decisions today will have far-reaching consequences that may not be evident for generations. By adopting a long-term perspective, we can combat practices that compromise ecological integrity for short-term gains. In summary, the lessons gained from studying evolution are profound and critical. They remind us of the intricate connections within ecosystems, the importance of biodiversity, the necessity of adaptability, and the value of stewarding the Earth. As we conclude this journey through the greatest mysteries of evolution, we can acknowledge that understanding our past is vital for navigating our future. What will our legacy be? Will we evolve in harmony with nature, or will we continue on a path of destruction? The answers may lie in how we choose to apply these lessons in our lives. In our final chapter, we will encapsulate the journey of evolution and its enduring mysteries that challenge our understanding. As we reach the end of our exploration into the greatest mysteries of evolution, we're left with more questions than answers. Evolution is a complex tapestry of events, adaptations, and unforeseen consequences, shaping every living organism on this planet. Despite centuries of research, there are still profound mysteries that perplex scientists and philosophers alike. One of the oldest questions is, how did life truly begin? Theories range from the primordial soup hypothesis to the idea of panspermia, where life originated from extraterrestrial sources. Yet, definitive evidence remains elusive. What catalyzed the transition from non-life to life? Exploring this question not only fuels scientific inquiry but also our understanding of our origins. Another enduring mystery is the phenomenon of major evolutionary transitions, those significant leaps that have shaped the trajectory of life. From single-celled organisms to multicellular life, from aquatic creatures to land dwellers, these transitions raise questions about the triggers and catalysts. What environmental changes led to these monumental shifts? Understanding these can help us comprehend not just how life has evolved, but how it might continue to evolve in the face of future challenges. Moreover, the question of consciousness and intelligence continues to intrigue scientists. What drove the evolution of complex brains capable of abstract thought and social behaviors in some species, like humans? Understanding the evolution of cognition can provide insights into our own behavior and how we relate to the world around us. As we contemplate these mysteries, we must recognize the sense of wonder they instill in us. The quest to understand evolution is not just a scientific endeavor, it's a journey that connects us to the past and shapes our future. Every discovery unveils new complexities, suggesting that the narrative of life is far from complete. As we navigate the challenges of the Anthropocene, we must remember our place in this evolutionary saga. The choices we make today will echo through future generations, affecting countless lives, ecosystems, and species. Our stewardship of the planet is critical. It's about preserving the evolutionary legacy, not just for ourselves but for all life. The integration of science, ethics, and responsibility will define how we move forward. In conclusion, the mysteries of evolution remind us that we are part of a much larger story, one that encompasses the entirety of life on Earth. As we ponder the intricate connections, the interdependencies, and the marvels of nature, let's strive to ensure that the legacy of our species is one that celebrates biodiversity, fosters coexistence, and paves the way for the thriving of all life forms. Ultimately, the greatest mystery of evolution may not be where it leads us, but how we choose to navigate the path ahead. Let us carry these lessons forward, not only as individuals but as a collective force for the future. Imagine vast herds of wildebeest thundering across the African savanna, an annual spectacle that has evolved over millennia. This migration is not just instinct, it's evolution in action. But what drives such extraordinary journeys? The Great Migration, often called one of nature's most spectacular events, provides a vivid illustration of natural selection and the adaptations species make in response to their environment. Every year, around 1.5 million wildebeest migrate from Tanzania's Serengeti to Kenya's Masai Mara in search of greener pastures. This arduous journey, often fraught with danger, showcases how evolution shapes behaviors and physical adaptations over generations. In the wake of these massive herds, predators like lions and hyenas follow, adapting their hunting strategies in response to the migration. So, what triggers this migration? Scientists have studied environmental cues, rainfall patterns, grass quality, and even the moon phases that influence the timing of these migrations. Interestingly, these cues are intertwined with the migratory instinct, rooted deep in their genetic makeup. The wildebeest are not alone in their seasonal journeys. Birds, fish, and even certain insects partake in migration, each with its own evolutionary history. Monarch butterflies, for example, travel thousands of miles from North America to Mexico. This journey spans generations, with the butterflies navigating using the Earth's magnetic field, a remarkable feat of evolutionary adaptation. But it's not just about survival. Migration plays a critical role in genetic diversity, allowing populations to exchange genes and adapt to changing environments. This is crucial in the face of climate change, where habitats shift or diminish. As we study the implications of climate change, understanding migration and its impacts on evolution may be more critical than ever. In conclusion, the Great Migration is a testament to the resilience of life forms on Earth. It's a vivid reminder of how evolution shapes not only the species we see but also the behaviors that ensure their survival. As we ponder our own migrations, be they physical, spiritual, or intellectual, what lessons can we draw from these magnificent journeys? What if I told you that not all evolutionary paths lead to success? In the grand theater of life, some species tread a path leading inevitably to extinction. Take, for example, the dodo bird. Once a thriving creature in the Mauritius forests, this flightless bird became extinct in the late 17th century, just a century after its discovery by humans. The dodo's demise illustrates the fragile balance of ecosystems and how rapid changes, often initiated by human actions, can obliterate a species. Another fascinating case is the Neanderthal, a close relative of modern humans. Despite their close genetic affinity to us, Neanderthals disappeared about 40,000 years ago. This invites the question, why did they fail to thrive in a world shared with early Homo sapiens? Research continues to reveal a complex interplay of factors: competition for resources, interbreeding with modern humans, and even social structures. Neanderthals were skilled hunters and gatherers but may have been outcompeted for food by anatomically modern humans. This raises an intriguing hypothesis: did superior social cooperation, language, or technology give Homo sapiens an unwavering edge? Furthermore, consider the saber-toothed tiger, an apex predator whose impressive physiology and hunting prowess could not save it from extinction about 10,000 years ago. The changing climate and the arrival of humans posed insurmountable challenges, showcasing how evolutionary advantages can turn into liabilities in a world that is rapidly changing. What these stories teach us is the unpredictability of evolution. It serves as a grim reminder that not every species is destined to survive in a changing world. Some may adapt, while others might become evolutionary dead ends. As humanity continues to impact the planet, understanding these dynamics becomes crucial. In essence, the enigma of evolutionary dead ends provides insight into the fragility of life itself. Each species that has evolved serves as a lesson: how resilience, adaptability, and timing determine survival, not just in the past, but in the present and future as well. How might our own path of evolution unfold, and what can we learn from those who have come before us? Have you ever wondered how unrelated species can develop strikingly similar traits? This phenomenon, known as convergent evolution, reveals nature's incredible capacity for problem-solving. Consider dolphins and sharks. Despite belonging to different evolutionary lineages, one is a mammal and the other a fish, they share remarkable physical similarities, such as streamlined bodies and fins. This adaptation allows both predators to navigate the oceans efficiently. Another example lies in the world of flight. Bats, birds, and insects represent three distinct evolutionary paths, yet they all developed wings. Each group adapted to flight in their own way, using different anatomical structures. Bats transformed their forelimbs into wings, while birds evolved feathers, and insects developed membranous wings. Convergent evolution does not just appear in physical traits, it also extends to behaviors. Take the social structures of wolves and lions, both display communal hunting strategies, although they are separated by millions of years of evolution. Their shared environment and predatory lifestyle led to similar social dynamics. In addition to these examples, another fascinating case is that of the eye. The camera-like eye in octopuses and vertebrates, despite their separate evolutionary paths, displays similar complexities and functions. This showcases how similar ecological niches can drive innovative adaptations, underscoring the limitations of evolution and the creative solutions it can craft. The study of convergent evolution challenges our understanding of the evolutionary process itself. It indicates that the environment plays a pivotal role in shaping traits, guiding the pathways species take. This underscores the significance of environmental pressures in the natural selection process. In summary, convergent evolution highlights the remarkable capacity of life to adapt and innovate. It serves as a reminder that even within the constraints of genetics and lineage, nature finds elegant solutions to complex challenges. As we ponder the intricate connections of life, what does this tell us about our place within this vast tapestry of existence? Extinction is a natural part of the evolutionary process, shaping the course of life on Earth in significant ways. Think about the dinosaurs. They ruled the planet for over 160 million years, yet in a mere 66 million years ago, they vanished from the face of the Earth. This mass extinction event, known as the Cretaceous-Paleogene boundary, radically changed the course of evolution. But why did it happen? A colossal asteroid impact is often blamed, but evidence also points to intense volcanic activity and climate change. Together, these events created a perfect storm that decimated flora and fauna, allowing new life forms to thrive. One of the most notable examples of extinction's role in evolution is the rise of mammals. With the dinosaurs gone, mammals, which had existed in the shadows, began to fill ecological niches. They grew larger, diversified, and adapted in ways that would eventually lead to the emergence of humans. Consider the woolly mammoth, one of the most famous prehistoric mammals. This large, hairy elephant lived during the last ice age but gradually became extinct about 4,000 years ago due to climate change and overhunting by early humans. Their extinction is a stark reminder of how delicate ecosystems can be and how human actions can accelerate natural processes. Research indicates that around 99.9% of all species that have ever existed on Earth are now extinct. Each extinction event opens the door for new species to emerge, leading to an endlessly dynamic and evolving biological landscape. Through fossil evidence, scientists have traced the lineage of modern birds back to theropod dinosaurs, demonstrating how extinction can pave the way for unexpected evolutionary paths. Yet, as we stand on the brink of another mass extinction, this time driven by human impact, questions arise. What will the consequences be for current species? How will this impact the future of life on Earth? The understanding of extinction as a catalyst for evolution drives home the importance of conservation and sustainable practices today. As we explore the role of extinction, remember that every extinction creates both a loss and an opportunity, reshaping the tapestry of life in unpredictable ways. What might the world look like if we continue down our current path? What new civilizations might rise in a post-human world? The answers remain elusive, but one thing is certain: extinction is part of the cycle of life, and its implications are profound. When we think of evolution, we often focus on physical traits, teeth, fur, wings. However, one of the most fascinating aspects of evolution lies in social behavior. From ants to elephants, social structures can define a species' success or failure. In this chapter, we explore how cooperation, communication, and social hierarchies have evolved across the animal kingdom. Consider the complex societies of bees. Honeybees demonstrate a sophisticated level of social organization, working together to care for the queen and the hive. This cooperation is driven by their evolutionary need for survival. The division of labor, where some bees collect nectar while others defend the hive, ensures the colony functions efficiently. Interestingly, these behaviors are not just instinctual, they are learned through communication. Bees dance to convey the location of food sources, showcasing a remarkable form of nonverbal communication. Now, let's shift our focus to elephants. Known for their intelligence and powerful social bonds, elephants are another prime example of social evolution. They live in matriarchal herds led by the oldest female, who guides the family in search of food and water. Research shows that these hierarchies are vital for passing down knowledge, especially in navigating the changing landscapes of Africa. When a matriarch dies, her herd faces challenges, highlighting the importance of social structures in survival. Elephants also display empathy. They grieve for lost companions and exhibit nurturing behaviors towards their young. In stark contrast, let's examine the behavior of solitary animals like the snow leopard. While primarily solitary, these majestic big cats do demonstrate social behaviors when mating or raising young, reminding us that social structures can be fluid and context-dependent. Evolution doesn't enforce strict rules, it allows for diverse strategies based on environmental pressures and survival needs. Research into primate behavior offers another fascinating insight into the evolution of social behavior. For instance, studies of chimpanzee communities reveal complex social interactions, including cooperation and competition. They use tools, communicate with gestures, and display emotions akin to humans. This has led scientists to ponder where we fit into the social evolution spectrum. Are our social behaviors a continuation of these ancestral traits? The debate continues as we explore the similarities and differences between humans and our closest relatives. As we delve into the evolution of social behaviors, one overarching theme emerges: survival often hinges on cooperation. As we continue to confront challenges like climate change and habitat loss, the lessons learned from the animal kingdom can guide us in creating a more cooperative society. How do we harness our social evolution to address these pressing issues? The answers might lie in understanding that our survival, just like that of social animals, is interconnected. One of the most compelling aspects of evolution is the ongoing battle between hosts and parasites, a genetic arms race that shapes the evolution of life itself. As organisms evolve, so do the pathogens that infect them. This chapter explores how this constant struggle influences evolution and impacts public health today. Let's start with a familiar foe, bacteria. The rise of antibiotic-resistant bacteria presents a stark example of evolution in real time. In the 1920s, Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin, heralding a new era in medicine. However, as antibiotics became widespread, bacteria evolved mechanisms to resist these drugs, leading to the emergence of superbugs. The CDC estimates that over 2.8 million antibiotic-resistant infections occur in the U.S. each year. These infections result in approximately 35,000 deaths. This ongoing evolutionary battle raises critical questions about our approach to medicine and how we can combat these resistant strains. But it's not just bacteria, viruses are also in this evolutionary race. Consider HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. Discovered in the early 1980s, it has evolved rapidly to evade the human immune system. Antiretroviral therapy has made significant strides in managing HIV, but viral mutations keep presenting new challenges. This underscores the necessity of continued research and development of vaccines and treatments that can keep pace with these rapidly evolving pathogens. The genetic arms race isn't limited to pathogens. The immune systems of animals have also evolved in response to these pressures. For instance, the sickle cell trait provides a fascinating example of how genetic adaptations arise from evolutionary pressures. Individuals with this trait are more resistant to malaria, a deadly disease transmitted by mosquitoes. Yet, having one sickle cell gene can lead to sickle cell disease, a serious health condition. This duality demonstrates how evolution can create both advantages and disadvantages in a single trait. As we explore this arms race, we can't ignore the impact of emerging diseases on human evolution. The Black Death in the 14th century killed an estimated 25 million people in Europe, profoundly shaping genetic diversity. Survivors possessed genetic mutations that provided resistance to the plague, traits passed down to future generations. This is a key example of how epidemics can drive human evolution, influencing not only our immediate response to diseases but also our genetic makeup. So, what lies ahead in this genetic arms race? As globalization increases travel and trade, the potential for new diseases to spread escalates. How will we adapt? Perhaps the answer lies in understanding that evolution is not a linear process but a dynamic interplay of various forces. This chapter closes with a poignant question: as we confront new challenges, how do we ensure we keep evolving alongside them? The future of evolution and human health may very well depend on our ability to adapt and innovate in this ongoing arms race. The story of evolution is not just about the change within species over time, it is also about how external factors shape these changes. Climate change, a pressing topic today, has been a significant driver of evolution throughout history. Take, for instance, the Great Ice Ages, where fluctuating temperatures created the conditions for immense shifts in biodiversity. The Pleistocene epoch, stretching from about 2.6 million years ago to around 11,700 years ago, was marked by dramatic climatic shifts that forced species to adapt or perish. During this time, species like the woolly mammoth emerged, evolving thick fur and a layer of fat to withstand the frigid temperatures. In contrast, some species, such as the giant ground sloth, could not adapt quickly enough to the changing environment and faced extinction. Even today, we see the footprints of climate change on evolving species. For example, certain plants in the Arctic are flowering earlier due to warmer temperatures, which disrupts local ecosystems. In the Galapagos Islands, Darwin's finches are undergoing rapid evolution in response to the changing food supply, a clear sign that evolution remains an active process. This provides us with a fascinating case study to understand how immediate environmental changes can ignite evolutionary responses. Looking ahead, what does this mean for future evolution? With climate change accelerating, many species will face pressures that require adaptation at an unprecedented pace. Some may thrive, while others could face extinction. This ongoing journey raises important questions about the resilience of life. Will we witness a new wave of evolutionary marvels, or will the planet lose the diversity that has taken millions of years to develop? The answers remain elusive, but what is certain is that evolution is tightly linked to the climate, and understanding this relationship is crucial for the future of our planet. Intelligence is often viewed as the crown jewel of evolution. But what does it mean to be intelligent? Throughout evolutionary history, intelligence has adapted uniquely across species, with evidence pointing to various forms of problem-solving and social cooperation. In primates, for instance, tool use has been a significant marker of intelligence. Chimpanzees using sticks to extract termites from mounds exemplifies this trait, showing a level of foresight and planning. In contrast, dolphins exhibit complex social behaviors and communication skills that suggest not only intelligence but also emotional depth. Their ability to work together in pods and understand complicated social hierarchies demonstrates that intelligence is not exclusive to humans. Recent findings have also shown that corvids, such as crows and ravens, possess remarkable cognitive skills. They can solve problems using tools, plan for the future, and even recognize human faces. But the question remains, how did intelligence evolve? Theories suggest that social living played a crucial role in enhancing cognitive skills. Animals that face complex social structures often develop higher intelligence levels to navigate these interactions. This phenomenon is termed the social brain hypothesis. Examining human evolution provides a fascinating insight into this development. The emergence of Homo erectus, with its larger brain size and tool-making capabilities, marked a turning point. The shift to cooperative hunting and gathering likely necessitated more advanced communication and social skills, setting the stage for our species' remarkable cognitive development. As we study the evolution of intelligence, one cannot help but wonder where we are headed. As technology advances, are we becoming less dependent on our innate intelligence? Will future human beings evolve even higher forms of intelligence, or will the reliance on technology lead to a decline in our cognitive abilities? The ongoing evolution of intelligence is a mystery, and exploring it reveals profound implications for our understanding of ourselves and our place in the natural world. Throughout the history of life on Earth, evolution has not always occurred at a steady pace. Enter the theory of punctuated equilibrium, a concept that reshaped our understanding of evolution in the late 20th century. Proposed by paleontologists Niles Eldredge and Stephen Jay Gould, this theory suggests that species remain relatively stable over long periods, with sudden bursts of evolutionary change occurring in response to significant environmental pressures. This concept diverges from the traditional view of slow, gradual changes. To understand this better, consider the fossil record. Many species show periods of stasis, long intervals where little to no evolutionary change occurs, followed by rapid speciation during brief moments. A prime example is the horse lineage, which remained stable in its form for millions of years before adapting rapidly to new environments. Furthermore, let's examine the extinction events that punctuated Earth's history. The Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction, which wiped out the dinosaurs, led to a sudden opportunity for mammals to diversify and fill ecological niches left vacant. In the aftermath, mammals evolved rapidly to adapt to the new environments, leading to the emergence of various forms and species. This evidence supports punctuated equilibrium by demonstrating how drastic changes in the environment can trigger bursts of evolutionary change. As we witness the current climate crisis, one must consider the implications of punctuated equilibrium on today's species. Are we on the brink of rapid evolution as species adapt to the changing conditions? Or are we, instead, witnessing a time of extinction that will lead to a new era of life? The answers are unclear, but the idea of punctuated equilibrium serves as a crucial framework for understanding how life adapts to the relentless pressures of its environment. The evolutionary dance of stasis and rapid change invites us to reflect on our own role within this spectrum and the choices we make for the future. Sexual selection is one of the most fascinating and perplexing elements of evolution, showcasing how beauty can influence survival. Think of the peacock's spectacular plumage. It's not just a pretty sight, it's a crucial survival tool. In the animal kingdom, the competition for mates often dictates the traits that will be favored by evolution. Sexual selection operates alongside natural selection but focuses on the traits that attract mates rather than those that merely assist in surviving the environment. For the peacock, the larger and more colorful the tail, the more attractive it is to peahens. But there's a catch: maintaining such an extravagant tail requires energy and exposes the peacock to predators. This paradox presents a striking example of the trade-offs inherent in evolution. The concept of sexual selection was first proposed by Charles Darwin in his book The Descent of Man in 1871. He noted that certain traits, such as the elaborate dances of birds or the vibrant colors of tropical fish, serve a dual purpose. They help the individual stand out to potential mates, while also playing a critical role in survival. In many species, sexual selection leads to the development of secondary sexual characteristics. For instance, male elephant seals can weigh as much as 4 tons, yet their size is a result of female choice. Larger males are more likely to secure a mate, leading to intense battles among them. However, not all attractiveness equates to survival. The striking colors of poison dart frogs serve as a warning to predators, while the vibrant plumage of tropical birds may attract dangerous attention. Yet this same vibrancy can signal genetic health to potential mates. Moreover, some species exhibit bizarre courtship behaviors, which take sexual selection to extreme levels. Consider the bowerbird who construct elaborate nests, or bowers, and decorate them with shiny objects to attract females. The question arises, what happens when the environment changes? As climate changes, the traits that were once advantageous can become detrimental. For instance, a species' brightly colored feathered males may find themselves more susceptible to predation as their habitat shifts from dense foliage to open areas. Thus, sexual selection illuminates not only the complexities of mate choice but also the unintended consequences that can arise from evolutionary pressures. In a world of changing conditions, beauty can quickly turn into a curse. What other implications does this have for species survival? As we dive deeper into the mysteries of evolution, understanding the interplay of sexual selection can serve as a lens to examine broader evolutionary processes. As we explore the evolution of species, we must grapple with the pressing impact of habitat fragmentation. This phenomenon occurs when large habitats are divided into smaller, isolated patches due to human activity, resulting in severe implications for biodiversity. Habitat fragmentation leads to isolation, limiting the gene flow between populations. Imagine a once thriving population of wildflowers divided by roads and urban landscapes. As these plants become isolated, they face inbreeding, which can reduce genetic diversity and lead to a phenomenon known as the extinction vortex. Consider the case of the Florida panther. Once roaming freely across the southeastern United States, habitat loss due to urbanization has dramatically reduced its range. With fewer mates available, inbreeding has resulted in heart defects and other health issues in this iconic species. Conservationists have introduced Texas cougars into the Floridian gene pool in a bid to restore genetic diversity, illustrating the drastic measures taken to counteract fragmentation effects. Moreover, isolation impacts evolutionary pressures. When species are forced into smaller areas, they may adapt uniquely to these localized environments. For example, the famous Darwin's finches of the Galapagos Islands exhibit a remarkable divergence of beak shapes adapted to the specific types of food available in their respective niches. As populations evolve separately, they can develop distinct traits that hinder reproduction between different groups, leading to speciation. But fragmentation also poses a threat to this process. As habitats dwindle, the likelihood of isolated groups adapting into new species decreases. Furthermore, fragmented habitats change climate dynamics on a smaller scale, affecting moisture levels, temperature ranges, and overall ecosystem health. For species adapted to specific climates, these changes can be disastrous, resulting in further loss of biodiversity. The consequences of habitat fragmentation extend beyond individual species. Entire ecosystems can be destabilized, leading to a domino effect throughout the food web. As keystone species decline, their absence can have catastrophic repercussions, causing ripple effects throughout the environment.